Another episode of Wonder Woman Says. Here we are on this Monday night. Of course, if you're a wrestling fan like me and my fiance, you probably know about WrestleMania over the weekend. What a show. I never thought I'd see Stone Cold come back. I never thought I would see Vince McMahon wrestle again. I will admit the main event wasn't much to write home about, but
match of the night was definitely Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn.
I don't know, maybe night number 2, I guess I can somewhat respect that opinion, but I think overall, like over the whole weekend, definitely Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch, that was a hell of a match right there.
Well, that was a different night, though. That was Saturday night. I'm talking about Sunday night. So, of the night.
Yeah, well...
Besides, I didn't see the first night. I had to work, remember?
Yeah, you're right. You did. I guess I can respect your opinion on that for last night. It was a fun match. I didn't know what to expect.
Alrighty, so what are we doing this week?
Well, last week Marvel took it upon themselves to close out yet another edition of The Amazing Spider-Man. I knew I was going to get this book as soon as I saw the front cover of it. Amazing Spider-Man number 93. As you can see, double-sized finale, so to speak.
Are we talking maximum clonage?
Well, it's definitely a quote-unquote another clone saga. But let's get into it. Even though it's not as grand as they used to be back in the late 90s, I'm glad Marvel's kind of getting in the habit of including these previously pages again. Yeah, because some of us, like myself, coming in real late to these stories. Believe it or not, from what I read, this is like part 19 of a whole ongoing story arc. So, we open up, we see Peter Parker and Ben Reilly in the attic. They're discussing certain memories and having a flashback. Ben Reilly confronting Mary Jane. Here, it's still in the attic, taking a look at an old Peter Parker picture with his family.
It's like from the 60s.
To us it is, yeah. Who knows where it's from in the story. Then kind of see this page right here, see like it's kind of fading away. I guess this is from Ben's point of view. Here, we see Ben's really got this helmet on. I guess this virtual reality type of thing is showing him certain things because he's somewhat under control of the Beyond organization.
So it's like Google Glass, basically?
Yeah. Or for a better reference point, you know how they kind of control RoboCop in the movies? They try to implant certain things into him. Yeah, it's kind of like that with this. Pretty much Ben's trying to get his memories back. Here, you see Marcus in the Beyond organization's building. From what I'm guessing, he's kind of trying to infiltrate to see what's going on. Of course, Mary Jane is kind of trying to talk to Peter. I guess they kind of have it like the movies now. In the comic book, they got Spider-Man, got that little, I guess, walkie-talkie type of thing, where he can talk to certain people while he's on a mission.
Sweetie, that's called a cell phone.
Well, I don't think that's what they call it. You know what I'm talking about.
I know it sounds like crazy moon talk, but yeah, it's a cell phone. It's what I'm recording you on right now.
Okay. Of course, this is the helmet that continues to come out throughout this story. It got all the memories and stuff that was implanted in the Ben that Ben is frantically trying to get back into his conscious.
So that's the RoboCop helmet.
You could call it something like that, yeah. Although it's about to cause a very big misunderstanding.
Oh, I think RoboCop had a few misunderstandings.
Yeah, because turns out this woman's kind of getting into Ben's head, trying to tell Ben he needs to go confront Peter about getting his memories back. Of course, Ben's falling for a hook, line, and sinker because he's real desperate right now. Doesn't know what to do. Of course, we see Ben and Peter finally confront each other after Peter gets his way into the building. Of course, they start to have an argument immediately because Ben wants him to put that helmet on so he can get the memories back from him. Peter won't do it.
So Peter doesn't want to be RoboCop?
Nah, he just knows it's a trap, don't he? Cause he knows like Ben being set up for something, but Ben don't want to hear it. Of course, Marcus is down here with Maxine, I guess the head of the group, so to speak. She's pretty much about to do away with him, but then I know his lady kind of comes to his rescue. She shoots this gun called an infantilizer. Pretty much turns people into infants.
Oh, infantilizer, okay.
Yeah, infantilizer. Yeah, because he was about to be led to his death, but he got saved at the last minute. He got turned into babies.
Oddly enough, I think Doctor Who killed someone that way once.
I wouldn't know. I never watched the episode of Doctor Who in my life.
I mean, the whole show is rubbish, but, you know.
I know some people out there that love the hell out of that show.
Yep.
Anyway, Peter and Ben continue their confrontation. Peter's trying to help him, but Ben believes he's not trying to help him. Of course, we all knew this was inevitable. You see, remember the front cover.
He's got Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah, I guess you could say it.
I mean, look at him. He's doing the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like rotate him like 80 degrees and he's John Travolta.
I wasn't thinking about that when I first read this, but yeah, actually, you are right.
Everybody into the disco room.
You put them clothes on him too. Of course, Peter and Ben about to get to fighting. Honestly, I'm not gonna spoil how this ends. I will say though, this was one to definitely read right here. You see how thick this book is. This one was a bit longer than a lot of the ones I reviewed. It took me a little bit to read this one.
Okay, so the $1 million question is Ben Reilly still the better Spider-Man?
Hell no. I would have never believed that. Like, hell no. I think he's one of the worst ones if you ask me. I just never got into him.
Well, wasn't that whole thing with, the Clone Saga, like, all the really cool stuff was happening to the clone, not the real one?
I wouldn't know. When they started doing that clone stuff the first time around, I stopped reading it for a long time.
Or was it that Ben was the real Peter and he just changed his name for... I don't know. That whole thing was screwy.
Yeah.
Okay, so out of 10.
I will admit, I never really cared much for Ben, but the cover just grabbed me, Give it an 8.5. I really enjoyed it. It was a long read, but I think it was worth it. I like the artwork a lot, and I like the storyline. I guess you could say I kind of somewhat cared for Ben in this book because I remember the original Clone Saga. I thought it was just a bunch of nonsense. I know Marvel was in a really strange time back then too, so I was surprised to see Ben even show back up at all. I guess since they're making all these other Spider-Mans, I guess they bring back the original successor, so to speak.
We saw from that ad, they're bringing back 2099 too.
Yeah, and I did like 2099.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be in the movie, and him and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Emissary from hell.
Yeah. Yeah, I like 2099. That was like one of the probably the only 2099 title I liked too, cause they had like Punisher 2099. If I'm not mistaken, didn't they have a Ghost Rider 2099 too?
And a Doctor Doom 2099.
Yeah.
Okay, so Blast from the Past brought to us by A&W Root Beer.
I could use a root beer right now, as a matter of fact.
It's a reference to the movie, you silly sod.
Okay. Well, we have here is an original anniversary issue for Supergirl, Supergirl number 13, 1983.
Yep, that was when they had briefly changed it to supermarket font.
Yeah, and this was a new costume at the time. If I'm not mistaken, this is the costume Helen Slater will wear a year later in the 84 movie.
I liked the one with the headband a little better, but that's a cute outfit.
I like the one she had before, as a matter of fact. Because I prefer this costume. This is the one they were changing from.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very Power Girl.
Yeah. Well, we open up. You see Superman flying to the Fortress of Solitude. I guess he's taking a much needed break from something. They don't never really explain what. But then you see Supergirl. She starts to explain why his fortress is trashed. Of course, and Superman's initially upset. She starts to explain what's happened to her in the past 3 or 4 issues before this one. I have about 3 of them over there in my massive comic book collection.
Yeah.
Once we see Supergirl and Superman talk about who's gonna clean up his fortress, of course he says he would do it because he wants everything a certain way. Because he likes his fortress to look a certain way. She don't quite understand that. But she takes it for what it is. She decided to go her own way.
Kool-Aid Man video game.
Yeah. This game worth some money now, ain't it?
I mean, you know, anything above 0 is an amount of money.
Yeah. Of course, after she leaves the fortress, Supergirl, well, actually we start to see something happening in her hometown, Chicago. Turns out there was an anti-Semitic attack on the building, targeting the owner. I'm guessing Miss Berkowitz. She talking about how she was a Jew. She was persecuted by the Nazis 50 years before this. She's worried how it might happen in America again too, because she's terrified by how the group, so to speak, that's running around doing this is starting to gain some traction in the city.
The 80s. They thought crazy things like the Nazis would come back.
Yeah. I mean, you can say it now too, cause you know you got that. What's that series on Amazon?
Man in the High Castle.
Yeah.
But we mighty spacemen of the future know that would never happen.
Oh, I forgot to say something important. This is the headquarters of the group that's perpetrating the swastika paintings on the walls and stuff. This is the head of the group. I know she looks pretty harmless here, but we about to find something out later on in the story about her that changes everything completely. Once we see Supergirl, she flies to LA to go pay a visit to her parents, her adopted parents, I should say. She talks to her father for a bit, and then she talks to her mother. They start going into how she got the idea for a costume change. We start to see how her mother came up with the design for it. We see Linda start to pretty much stitch it all together in record speed like Supergirl would normally do.
Well, I mean, if her cousin has the power of super ventriloquism, why not?
Yeah. But then Supergirl starts to find out what's going on back in Chicago with the anti-Semitism. She decides to fly back to see what's going on. She reassumes her Linda identity. She starts to talk to her friends. Everybody's shaking. I guess because she don't know the full extent of what's going on, she thinks it's nothing to worry about. But all the people in the building are terrified. I will say, this panel right here really jumped out at me.
Well, stop jailing it so I can see it.
Yeah. Like the woman right here says, they're after her too. She happens to be black. But they're focused right now on one final solution. When they're done with that one, they're gonna come for her next. That's real powerful line right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, real true too. Of course, Linda heads upstairs to go talk to Mrs. Berkowitz. She tried to convince her everything's gonna be okay, but Miss Berkowitz is still really terrified what this might be the beginning of, since she lived through it before. And she noticed like they actually be in the camps and all that in Poland. First it's like a misunderstanding because the guy in the building is trying to stand watch. He doesn't know that's actually Linda's boyfriend. He thinks he's one of the Nazis, but Linda has to come and correct him, defuse the situation. And then Supergirl pretty much, well, not Supergirl, but Linda pretty much decides to head to the rally with her boyfriend. They're about to see something they never thought they would ever see in their life. We see this mysterious woman again. She's heading up the rally. She's spewing off a lot of racist stuff. Linda instantly disapproves of. She's just in shock of how all these people following this and falling for it. And we see the girl pretty much still preaching this stuff, and Linda's trying to figure out what she's gonna do about it. But then one of the guys that was there, he reveals he's a Jew. That causes an immediate ruckus. And some of the people follow him, starting pretty much a riot. But we about to find out this was all a ruse. That man's not really a Jew. He's really one of the Nazis.
I was gonna say, he kind of looks like Alexander Luthor around that time.
Yeah. Especially evident too how he pretty much took the Star David off, pretty much crushed it on the floor after he took his payment for helping get the riot started. But then Supergirl flies in to help defuse the situation. This brings her in direct contact with that mysterious woman. Here we find out this woman actually has some strong powers that's even able to affect Supergirl. Of course, we find out too her name Black Star.
Oh, Starfire's sister? Wait, no, that's Blackfire. Never mind.
Yeah, it's Blackfire. It's somebody different. I mean, you see Black Star pretty much has Supergirl cornered. And they're pretty much leaving it open for the next issue. Supergirl's in pain.
Well, they still haven't explained how they made a mess at the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Kegger.
Well, they kind of did. They didn't go like extremely in detail. And she pretty much like had to fight somebody there, and she had to go get some gold kryptonite from over there.
All right. So out of 5.
I will admit, I like Supergirl. I think her comic books are very hit and miss and often very inconsistent. Because when you get a Supergirl comic book, you're taking a chance sometimes. Sometimes it might be good. Sometimes it might be boring.
Yeah, I gotta say I was not grabbed by the story.
Nah, I kind of was, though.
No, I mean, like, it had all the ingredients. It's just, it didn't come together for me. I'm sure, like, And the sequel, when it all comes together, then we'll truly be able to appreciate it. But
Well, it come to me because, like, I guess because of what's been happening the last, I guess, 5 to 6 years, story kind of seem relevant now.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, it's like it's easy to get rid of Nazis, kill them.
Yeah, you right. But it's definitely one of the best Supergirls I've read. I can't say I read them all, but of the ones I have read, it's definitely in the top 3, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly more engrossing than when they were trying to make her a half angel or something.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause Supergirl has kind of got put through some strange things later on. They kept changing up her costume and all that stuff. Yeah.
Alrighty, so out of 5.
I give it a solid 4. I really liked it. It's definitely one of the stronger Supergirl stories. And maybe it's because this is an anniversary issue. It seemed like it tried to put some more effort into it for once.
All right, so what are we thinking for next week?
Oh, next week, you're going to love the blast from the past. We're going to take a look back at Spawn #1 from 1992. I would say the comic book that pretty much opened the floodgates for the quote-unquote underground comic book scene.
Alrighty, so until next time, you got anything else to say?
No, I'll just say enjoy your night. We're about to get off and watch Raw.
Oh, should we like and comment or subscribe or whatever?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you for reminding me. Definitely hit like and subscribe.
I know you can't comment on YouTube, but when we share this on social media.
Yeah, definitely share this, do whatever. I know you enjoy this. Definitely hit that like button. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for watching. See you next week.